Bitcoin fell below this huge support area, and is Bitcoin now creating a huge bull trap? I will tell you everything about it in this video. There are also a lot of interesting information I want to talk about with you today. There's a lot of interesting news and data coming into the market. I will also have a look at the two altcoins XRP and BNB with you today, but about that later in the video. So watch this video all the way to the end, like the video, and let's dive right into the charts. In the beginning of the weekend, Bitcoin created the CME gap around the $59,000. Bitcoin fell below this level, and I was expecting that we're going to see it close in the early stages of this week. And last night, this is exactly what Bitcoin did. So Bitcoin came down and we bounced back up to close the CME gap around the $59,000, and now we're trading around this level. So this is looking very good for Bitcoin in the shorter time frame. And the CME gap is now closed, and we can now trade freely during the week. So this is beautiful to see. And if we then zoom out on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that Bitcoin was currently at this huge horizontal support area. We came back to the support and we bounced again to the top side. So this is beautiful to see, and we are now seeing a little bit of a separation from this huge horizontal level. So let's see if Bitcoin can create more topside from here, and eventually we want to see this bullish continuation for Bitcoin. But this horizontal level was coming into play, and it was strong enough for Bitcoin. So every time we touched this level, we saw a beautiful bounce, just like we saw yesterday. So we could see more bullish price action in the coming days after this huge bounce from this support level. Yesterday the Bitcoin ETFs were not able to buy or sell their Bitcoin into the markets because it was Labor Day in America, and this was a holiday. So due to this holiday, the markets were closed, and today the markets are open again. So let's see if there can be a little bit more inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs than last week. And last week we saw a bit of a bearish week. We saw, of course, on Monday a 202 million inflows, and after that we saw a lot of negative outflows. So this was a little bit more of a bearish week for the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we have a look at the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, we can also see this huge big resistance level was unfolding, and we are now maybe coming back to this level. So this will be the first big resistance for Bitcoin to break, and this is around the $61,500. So if Bitcoin can come back to this huge resistance, I think we will see a lot of price interactions, and we have to be a little bit cautious that if we're maybe going to see another rejection. But of course, we want to see this bullish scenario play out, and that we're going to see a bullish break, and then we have to aim for the higher prices after a huge retest. So I want to see a break of this huge horizontal level, then a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we can enter the market in the long or just spot buy order, and then we can aim for higher prices. And this will be the bullish scenario for Bitcoin. But of course we can also see more bearishness coming into the market, that we're going to see a huge rejection from this level again, and that we're going to have to aim for lower prices. But currently we are not even at this level, and we are at this lower side. So we could also potentially see more downside from here, and then we have to aim for lower prices. And if we're going to see a break of this huge level around the $58,000, then we have to aim for this next big support on the lower side around the $52,000. But that of course will be a very bearish scenario. And earlier in the video I was talking about that Bitcoin could potentially make a huge bull trap. We saw this huge consolidation pattern on the daily time frame. We saw multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and multiple touch points on the downside as support. And in the weekend we broke this support to the downside, and we are currently retesting previous support as resistance. So this could also be a bearish retest, and that we have to aim for lower prices from here. And this of course is a very bearish scenario. So let's see if Bitcoin can maybe come back inside of this formation and invalidate the bull trap. So this is something to worry about, because we are seeing a little bit of a rejection already coming into the market, and from here we could potentially go to much lower prices. So keep in mind that this is a bearish retest on the daily time frame, and this could be a very big bull trap. Yesterday we also had some very interesting news coming in. Qatar officially introduces regulatory framework for digital assets, so this is looking very bullish, and a lot of Middle Eastern countries are embracing Bitcoin, so this is beautiful to see. Also the United Arab Emirates are also very into Bitcoin, and they are most likely to pay salaries in Bitcoin. So this is looking all too good for Bitcoin, and let's see if the rest of the world can maybe follow their footsteps. And yesterday I was talking about this huge bullish divergence for Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. This could indicate a huge trend reversal, and I was talking about that we were going to see a spike to the top side if this bullish divergence would play out. And we are seeing lower lows on the chart, and we are seeing a higher low on the RSI chart. So this is looking very bullish, and this means that the selling pressure is cooling off So we are seeing more buying pressure coming into the market, and eventually this is exactly what happened. We are seeing a bounce to the top side, so this is looking very beautiful, and the bullish divergence is playing out like expected. So this was a very good indicator that we are going to see a huge trend reversal for Bitcoin. And now let's see if we can maybe continue the bullish uptrend to the top side. And of course we want to see this huge trend reversal for Bitcoin happening on the 4-hour time frame. And we have to be a little bit patient if that is going to play out today or maybe tomorrow. And also with the Bitcoin ETFs trading again live today, with the US markets opening today again, we could potentially see more buying pressure coming into the market. But of course the bear scenario could also potentially be that we're going to see a huge sell-off again, because the Bitcoin ETFs are going to dump Bitcoin on the market again. The first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is XRP. We can see XRP was in this huge falling wedge formation to the downside with multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance and on the downside as support. We broke out bullish, we came all the way back down to this huge previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we shoot back up. And if we then zoom in on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that XRP also created a very much same formation on the 1-hour time frame. We can see multiple touch points here on the top side as resistance and on the downside as support. So this was also a falling wedge formation on the 1-hour time frame. And yesterday we broke out to the top side beautifully, and now we are seeing a separation of this huge resistance area. So we could potentially see maybe a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we can aim for higher prices. And then the breakout target of this 1-hour formation will be around the 63 cents. So that is a very interesting gain for XRP to make. But if we then have a look at the weekly time frame for XRP, we are still in this huge consolidation. We are already inside of this formation for 143 weeks, so this is insane. And this is, I think, one of the biggest consolidations in the crypto I've ever seen. So when this pattern is going to break bullish or bearish, we are going to see a huge exponential move. So of course we want to see this bullish break, a retest of this resistance area to turn it into support, and then aim for higher targets. And from here the breakout target will be the 92 cents. So this is also a very interesting point for XRP to come back. But we can see this price is getting squeezed into this apex, and the apex is due in the beginning of 2025, so we could also potentially stay inside of this formation for the coming months. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Binance Coin. So BNB, we can see BNB was trading at this huge horizontal level, and we came to this horizontal level again after we broke bullish out of this falling wedge formation. So this falling wedge formation had multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and 2 touch points on the downside as support. And we can see we broke bullish out of this huge falling wedge formation, and we came back to retest the previous resistance as support, and this support was also confluent with the horizontal support, so it was kind of a double support for the BNB. And we now can see a little bit of a bounce from this level already, so this support is holding strong for now. So let's see if BNB can create more bullish price action to the top side. And eventually we want to see that BNB is going to break this huge resistance area on the daily time frame, and then we can maybe aim for higher prices. But this breakout target of this falling wedge formation will be confluent with the top side of the formation, and that's also confluent with the previous all-time high around $710. So this could be a very interesting trade for BNB to make. And from the point of the retest, you could potentially make almost a 40% increase. So that is an insane gain, of course. So let's see what BNB is going to do in the coming days. Please give a like if you find this video useful. Follow me on my socials, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.